Allah Almighty says to the cursed devil, go and befool as many of them as you can with your voice, and assault them with your cavalry and your infantry, and share with them their wealth and their children, and give them fake promises. Allah Almighty comments and says, but the shaitan does not promise people anything but deceit. What is the voice of shaitan that he uses to befool people? It is singing and musical instruments. This is the voice of shaitan. Therefore, brothers and sisters, I repeat and I reiterate that the cornerstone of why these things have been prohibited, why music, why alcohol, why fornication, because it is essentially preserving your tawheed. The one who becomes obsessed with these things eventually starts fighting his heart now, is occupied with other than Allah. See, we mustn't kid ourselves, and we mustn't think that we're made out of some sort of wood or concrete or stone. The qalb, the heart that Allah has placed within you is called the qalb because it is that which changes, turns over. It never stays still. It is moving from one state to another, and music manipulates you just as much as fornication, idolatry, alcohol, or any other obsession in life does so. Why would a Muslim put himself in such a situation? Now that you have heard these three examples, I now take you to the famous hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, where the Prophet ﷺ says, there will come a time where a group of Muslims from my ummah will deem alcohol and fornication and musical instruments and silk as permissible. These are the tools of shaitan that he uses to move people away from the slavery of Allah to the slavery of man and the slavery of his desires. The Quran opens up your horizons and you now see the bigger picture. What does music do? The stark opposite of this. It limits your horizons, and now you cannot see anything but the girl, and she can see nothing but the praise that she wants from boys. Wow, Allahu Akbar. The entire purpose of life and why we are here, and death and the grave and the angel of death, all of this is now missed, and they become intoxicated in that person, in that one individual. You miss the bigger picture of life. This is what music does. The Quran replaces disease with cure. As for music, the work of shaitan, it simply furthers the illness of the ill, and it never replaces an illness with a cure. Ibn Mas'ud, he says that music causes hypocrisy to grow from the heart, the same way that water causes plants to grow. Music is very seductive, and for those who have grown up listening to it, it is very difficult to leave. The same way that alcohol brings about a certain amount of pleasure for he who drinks it, music certainly has a pull, it has a temptation, it has a lot of desire attached to it. Does that make it okay? No. Because music is simply one of those tests, another one of those tests that this life that we are living in is loaded with. And Allah Almighty being Ash-Shakur. What does Ash-Shakur mean? Allah being the most grateful will not allow a person who suppresses this desire to listen to the music to go empty-handed. And He will fill his hands with something better. Namely, in Jannah, as they recline on their thrones, they will hear beautiful sounds emanating from the distance, with pitches and melodies and rhythms that their ears could never comprehend and they have never heard before. This is the music of Jannah, and this is the singing of the Hurul Ain. Wouldn't it be very silly to miss out on the privileges of Jannah because you had rushed to attain its haram form in dunya? Well, you have the four madhahib, the four schools of thought. They are also unanimously agreed that when musical instruments and singing come together, it becomes permissible. What do you have left?